know, we've seen that pressure crumble some of the greatest athletes with having to do it for your hometown. For Cole, he elevated in that win over Jordy, and now we switch it to another great rivalry. J.Robinson versus L.Fioravanti.
Win his first world championship this year. So this came in as a 5-3-3, cool blowtail reverse right there going left. And the progress that he has made with this, small wave surfing has just been, truly untouchable, Joe. And you see right here, cleans up the finish, little slide. And then once again, just member of the finals multiple times. And it seems like Leo looking to strike right here, Joe.
L.Fioravanti goes big on the first section. Nice vertical there for the Italian. Oh, wow. What a healthy looking carve that was. Out in front again. He's just so clean and precise. Hits it off the lip. Nice transition. Frames it up well with variety with that little lean back slide and crushes the finishing move.
But still, some great surfing. And here what could potentially be the best wave of the heat so far. Excellent combination on the outside. You love the way he held that rail. So did I for the longest of times. You can just see he's always surfing in the pocket. Meet of the wave right there into the lip. This layback is sick. Look at the way he sets up this last one, though, Joe. A little bit more explosive, and as you can tell with that.
Now J.Robinson finding his flow through this inside track. Setting up the sharp eye to rip into a cool finish. A really quick fist pump out of that to sell it. But also just likes to show the judges that he's loving his surfing.
And we didn't fully see the outside of Robbo's wave. This is it, though. Into the reverse. That's much better for Jackie boy. Nearly, front foot nearly up all the way to the nose. That was pretty cool and creative. And right here, just some framework through the middle. Kind of putting up the finishing touches on this wave. He was really stoked with it, though. Has the layback Larry towards the end. He's got to be pumped. He's already going to have what?
Really an intelligent, high surf IQ when it comes to breaking down his heats and how he won't repeat the same mistakes twice. Here goes J.Robinson. Driving into a nice high line wrap using a lot of the open face, and then will punch the fins out into reverse. Two-turn combination.
Robinson's going to get the better of the exchange right here. This first carve, great in the pocket the entire time, fully committed to. Love the way he brought it around. And of course, adding in some spice with the air, good variation.
As we see Leo now with a nice pocket right here. He jams it quickly on the carve. Pushes that sharp eye back in the pocket again. Passing Jack with another searing turn. This one's giving him a bit more room to move here. And just continues with that wrapping cutback. Right now he's going, can I switch it up? Here we go, another big frontside wrap. So it kind of forced him to stay in the same rhythm.
The issue right here is that Jack's going to improve on his 5-3-3, I feel. Really want to point something out right here, Joe. First carve is great. Look at the way he delays the carve right there, though. He went high and just for a split second made sure to fully engage the rails, but just waited it out a little bit. It was picture-perfect timing. The only issue, though, as you pointed out, and it's a big issue considering the major scores that we've seen so far today. Really no variety of maneuvers, so the score won't go too high. Didn't surf it bad, just, the wave didn't offer up anything else, so.
Still enjoying this clash with Jack and Leo here in the round is 16. Jack with the lead and priority will take this wave. He's got the drive, got the speed. Looking for a big section. Wow! Tail high reverse, pulls it into a big wrapping hook, looking so smooth. Throwing some water off the tail, that sharp eye, punching it out, ditches the fins, and he will
just still be able to get down the line with a good amount of speed. You can see right here, cleared a good amount of distance just with the pumps. And then with the air, look at where he lands, still on the open face, quickly into the next maneuver too. So great transitioning maneuver right there for Robinson. It's a 2-for-1. And the layback Larry to finish up. Well, more of a throw tail right there towards the end, but a sick combination of maneuvers. But look at the height, the projection, and the distance he covers. Picture perfect landing, Joe. Straight into the next maneuver. We talk about high impact. It was all J.Robinson on this one right here. And, once again, the improvements that he has made with his progressive surfing on smaller waves, well, the score's reflecting it, Joe.
8.87. They dropped the high and the low. A couple of nines in the mix there. Well deserved for Jack. And also just the smoothness out of the big punt. That was just impressive.
Well, and a really important moment of the heat, too, because Leo got let down with his previous wave, came in as a 5-5, so while still needing a score. Robinson lost the opening exchange, though. Leo still has the 8.5, and as of right now, Leo going to be forced to get something close to an 8-point ride. And you see the reaction of the pit crew right there, Leandro Bemi and his wife Julia, super stoked on it. They should be.
Unreal ride. Leo's got to answer now, heading left towards uppers. Needs something big here. Fioravanti launching, but ends up losing the ramp. Advantage J.Robinson in a massive way. This wall starting to move them down to focus in on the right. Jack will take this wave. The man from Western Australia driving off the bottom. Big tail high whip, lays back and pulls it off. Drives into the lip line again. Explosive first turn for Robbo. Now rushing this section, he'll float it, cover some ground, got a lot of speed, and will climb again. Really reminds me of how he went on to win in Mexico when he started getting really explosive and risky on the first section. Where
I knew another guy from WA that used to do this back in the day too. I'm talking about Taj Burrow, baby. And you look at the impact of this high maneuver right here. Nasty stuff, Joe. So whether or not he improves on the 7.33, that's got to be one of the best maneuvers we've seen all event long. Really, the rest of the wave, looking at the finishing touches, nothing of high impact right here towards the end. So the majority of the number is going to come off of this first turn. But look at how deep he got with the bottom turn right here and straight up and vertical. Very difficult, risky, and of course, I'd have to say progressive too. Touches the rail slightly. Actually, he doesn't even do it when he's going up into the air right there. But laying back like that with all that water coming down on you, and especially having to have that core strength to get back up, high risk maneuver, and look at where his front foot is. You couldn't let me get one off of you right there? No, but a great performance. Leo still had an 8.5, which was one of the best scores of heat. Props to Robinson, though. Another quarterfinal looking great.